Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made my beautiful sugarcane farm, along with the flying harvesting machine and the crop collection system. I'm going to try and keep this tutorial today pretty simplified, so if you want to build your very own sugarcane farm, flying harvester machine or redstone collection system, you can quite simply keep up and do a similar design in your own world. So firstly I'm going to start off this design by clearing out a working space. Mine is approximately 12 blocks width by 20 blocks length. Then halfway down lengthwise I'm going to dig out 1 block depth, 2 blocks width for an entire middle section. This will be where our hoppers will go, leading to the chest. Next we need to clear out space for the chest, then get to placing our hoppers. Next of all we need to place redstone blocks in the centre of each side where our rails will be. These are the powered rails. The rails will be underneath our crops. As I'm sure you're already aware, I'm making a sugarcane farm today, and sugarcane only grows next to water. So between the redstone I'm going to place rows of glass. This is where the water will be going on top of, in between our crop area. Now we're going to do the same on the other side of our hoppers, placing the glass and redstone blocks. Then it's time to place our powered redstone rails. These rails can be quite disobedient when going over hoppers, so you have to hold the placing button whilst running backwards over, whilst backing over the hoppers. So you have to hold the placing button whilst backing over the hoppers. Alternative to that, I should imagine the whole crouching thing works as well. Also, if you're placing the rail next to another rail, it can turn the track. As you can see here. To stop that from happening, you can place a temporary minecart bouncing back and forth off the walls so that the track is in use and it can't interfere with any other track that you are placing at the time. So no interference and all good. The end track pieces will always still change though, so I reckon I'm leaving them till the end, as they will be normal rail anyway, so they don't really need to be there. There won't be redstone rails at the end of the track because redstone rails cannot bend round corners, only normal, just ordinary rails can do that. As I said before, rails can be quite disobedient at the best of times, so they may need some readjusting, but you get there in the end, just stick with it. So now that's all done, we need to test it out. We also want to check the hopper in the minecart picks up the dropped items and delivers them to the other hoppers, then from there to the chest. So we're just going to test that out now. If any items that has been dropped does not end up in the chest, you will need to readjust your ground hoppers so that they link to your chest properly. As you could see on the video, the item just sat in my hopper, not passing through any of the other ones into the chest, so I had to remove all of the hoppers and basically start fresh again. So placing the hoppers whilst crouching. To do this on the PS4 Bedrock Edition, you need to hold the circle button whilst placing the item on the next item. For example, if you press the circle button, hold it in, place a hopper on a chest. If you're not crouching, when you click on the chest to place the hopper, it'll just open the chest if you're not crouching. If you are crouching, it'll just place a hopper right next to the chest. This is how you know that it is properly connected. So now that's all done, we need to test it out. So I've got 10 redstone blocks, I've thrown them into the end hoppers. Now let's check and see whether it has actually gone through to the chest this time. Happy days, we now have a fully working collection system hooked up to our chest. Good job. As I said before, crouching and placing does this perfectly fine on a PS4 Bedrock Edition. It's easier to do it now rather than leave it till the end, because obviously it's on your ground level. Everything's going to be basically built on top of this, so the last thing you want to do is get to the end and go, oh, it doesn't even work, and then start messing around with it again, because it's just a pain in the butt. So yeah, can't rush perfection, guys, can't rush perfection. Stick with it, you'll get there. You can either have one large rail going all the way around the track area, or you can split your tracks in half and have two rails running simultaneously, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do a little bit of readjusting here because I want the two rails running pretty symmetrically. So yeah. Okay, perfect. So, minecart with hopper here. Should go all around this right hand section here. Perfect. And then bounce off the wall and back again. Perfect. And then this one here. Wait till the other one reaches it so they run at the same time. That's pretty cool. And virtually at the same time. Cool. Once that's all done, you can start building your farmland. So with soil, you're going to build one block up from the border, and then outwards you're going to avoid the glass area and build one block over the top of the rail, not covering the glass areas. This will be where the water is. Then we're going to add the water next. Make sure before you add the water there is no gaps in the glass. If there is, or if there's gaps anywhere that can seep through down to where the rails are, it'll just destroy all of your rail area, as this has happened to me several times while trying to make this video. So yeah, make sure definitely you've got no areas in where your water can get through to your tracks. They cannot come in contact, otherwise the water just destroys them. Put glass. Let's put glass in here to have a pretty cool effect so we can see under there. Make sure everything's behaving itself. Okay. Now here's a moment of truth to hopefully make sure it doesn't leak. Let's just make sure the minecart is still going round. Happy days, still going round. Hey! So yeah, we just fill all these glass sections in here with water. Cool. One side done. Uh-oh. Okay, cool. So we pretty much have the farm area here ready now. We just need to plant some crops. Actually, let's just make sure it does the job before we start adjusting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, 4 have disappeared. I'm guessing them 4 are in this chest here. Yay! It did the job! Good job! Oh my god! I'm so excited. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is going to plant our sugar canes. So 1 on every section of the soil. Okay guys, now that they're all nice and grown, what we're going to do here is make our flying cropping machine. So at this end here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks high with any random block. I am just using this one for example. This one is obsidian, in case you can't tell. So on top of this 4th random block, we are going to place an observer facing that way. You know it's facing that way because you've got the button at the back here. We've got the little smiley face, although not that smiley to be fair, at the front. Then on top of this, what we're going to do is we're going to place a redstone repeater on top of the observer. Move it so you can change the position of the lever, and we want it all the way back. Okay, so now it's all the way back. You're going to place another random block here. You're going to place some redstone dust on top here, and we are also going to place a trapdoor. If you place it here, it won't do the job. So what you need to do is you need to start building your flying machine. So what I'm going to do to start off with, I'm literally just going to place an observer right here. So the observer is pointing the right way. That is exactly where it needs to be. There is another observer that needs to be next to it. So I'm going to put the other observer right here. I'm going to take the slime blob out of the way. So them 2 observers are exactly where they need to be, so that it doesn't cause any confusion when it all starts, and then it doesn't run away on its own. So now what we need is we need a sticky piston. First of all, I'm going to put a slime blob here. That isn't going to remain there for the foreseeable, it's just there temporarily. That like so. Sticky piston there, and then a sticky piston needs to also be on the other side, like so. Aha! Right, okay. So that actually worked because we put sticky piston there, slime block here, then we're going to put slime block, slime block, slime block, all the way up to the end of that crop. And there. And then we're going to take these ones off here, and we're going to put these ones on this level here. Perfect. So now we have exactly what we need on this side over here. As soon as I put the trapdoor on top, it's going to then activate it, which will then send it off. So what we're going to do on this side is we are going to do the receiving end. So for this, we will need to line an observer up with this one right here. So we've run all the, we had 4 blocks off the ground, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and an observer facing that way. Perfect. Now what we're going to do here is 1 random block behind, go up, put a redstone repeater on this section here, all the way back again, redstone here. Now what we're also going to do on this side is we are going to put a block there and a block here, get rid of the top block, and then on the side here we are going to put a lever, and right here we're going to put a candle. This basically activates it. With this you can switch it on and off. So should be able to stop it on this side theoretically. Now what we need to do is add a trapdoor exactly. Before I do actually, I'm just going to use a different observer, and I'm going to put a trapdoor on top of there. Now I'm going to take it off. Good job. So that's all set up. A trapdoor on this side, and it should activate everything to start. Okay, nice one. It's doing the job. It's a bit not quite doing exactly what it should do, but it's doing the job. I think it's just a disobedient machine, to be quite frankly honest. See, as you can see here, it's cropping it, but they're all flying out everywhere. So you also need to make sure you've got a good, decent border. The thing with your border is, under no circumstances can the slime touch your border. If it does, then it's just going to try and take the border with you. If you use leaves should do the job. Don't know if specifically you need to do that one, but we'll do it anyway, just in case. What this machine basically does is, when it reaches either end of the contraption, the observer notices that there is something in front of it, moves the trapdoor in order to alert the other observer on the flying machine, which then activates the piston to start moving, and then it should go the opposite way, and it does the same on the other side. And it should just bounce back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and cut all the crops for you. This has worked pretty well. The machine is still rather disobedient and doesn't really know what... I don't quite know what I did wrong. If anyone's got any advice on how to improve this so it goes back and forth like it actually should do, rather than contemplating it constantly and going forward, 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 back, back, forward, forward, back, back, forward, 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 back, back, please do let me know, as I have no idea. But yeah, it does the job it needs to do. It collects stuff down here. This, I've got to say, is my favourite area, right down here. It was the easiest thing to do out of everything, and it's just brilliant. I love it. Minecarts with the hoppers in are collecting everything, delivering to these hoppers, which are then delivering stuff to the chest. Awesome, look at that, look how much sugarcane we have. Cool. Learn a new thing every day, guys. Stick with it, you'll get there eventually. If there's anything you do want to see, or this was helpful for you, just leave a comment in the section below. It'd be nice to hear from you to see whether actually it is helpful, or it was like, yeah, it didn't work, or even if you could tell me on how to improve it. Awesome. Just remember, I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 edition, so I know for a fact I watched a fair few videos on people playing, obviously not the Bedrock PS4 edition, because it definitely didn't work on mine with most of the videos that I watched. Took a while, but we got there. Whoop whoop! I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will be seeing you again sometime soon.